Do we ever stand back and ask, where does our money go? Are we all just sleepwalking spenders, buying things we don't really need and spending too much on the essentials? Are we handing over our hard-earned money without giving it a second thought? I'm Katrina Devereux, and in this series I'll be joined by personal finance expert Sinead Ryan, and we're here to help you take control of your cash. We'll have industry insiders giving you their tips on saving your money, and behavioural economist Dr. Pete Lunn will reveal how our basic human instincts are costing us at the checkout. Welcome to My Money and Me.
You better get ready, cool and ready, do the rock steady, but now it's the time.
This week we meet the Butlers in County Clare. Rose and Henry want to start building a college fund for their 3 daughters, but at the moment they can't find any money left over at the end of the month to start saving. Our insider tips will help you save on holidays in Ireland. And Dr. Pete Lunn is handing out money. The question is, will people take it?
There's a lot of you walking away now and saying, I would rather have nothing than take that measly offer.
Rose and Henry live in Tulla in County Clare with their 3 girls, Lauren, Lucy and Isabel. They both work in retail management in Ennis and have a manageable mortgage of around $600 a month.
We both have okay incomes, but we don't have a whole lot at the end of it.
I think Henry's quite good with money.
I'm probably worse than Rose.
So Henry thinks Rose is better with money and she thinks he is, but the fact is both of them want help.
I mean, at the end of the month, I'm down to nothing. Do you know what I mean? And I don't actually know where it goes.
We're not going crazy, like, we know how much we're getting in a salary, and it just seems to disappear without even knowing where it's gone.
Time to find out where the money is going and see where we can help.
What kind of bad habits do you have in terms of your spending?
Like, I could spend €10 a day on food at work between breakfast and dinner. That's 50 a week.
Yeah.
Making lunches in the morning for the kids and not taking 5 minutes to make a lunch for myself, and then popping down to the takeaway or over to the restaurant for a sandwich, and that's €6 gone.
And buying the food for the lunches and just letting the food go off in the fridge because we were too lazy to make it.
And putting it in the bin?
Yeah.
And are you paying for it to go into your bin?
Yeah, we are. Paying for it to be disposed of, yeah. I know. It's terrible, yeah.
The cost of food waste is roughly €3 a kilo, and in Ireland we throw out 20% of our bread, 25% of our fruit and 50% of our salads. Rose admits that they are wasting food, so I want to see what evidence I can find.
This all in date. You'd want to be kind of cooking this fast, wouldn't you?
We know.
They're quite pricey, aren't they?
Yeah, they are expensive, yeah.
That's a big chunk of your food bill there.
It is, yeah.
Will all this be eaten?
I don't know, probably not.
Are you buying these for your sandwiches with the intention of making your sandwiches,
Yes.
and then that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
So then it goes in the bin?
Yes.
They're the kind of things that'll live forever. Oh no, they're gone.
Are they?
Goodbye. How much do they cost?
€4.
€4. All your fresh stuff is still fresh, so you just need to eat it. Okay, so this is where all the stuff that was going to go out of date has ended up.
Yeah.
You do the thing where you put stuff in and then you forget how long it's been there and you kind of worry whether it's safe or not, and then you throw it out.
Definitely. We do.
So it's not actually full of like convenience food, it's just full of food that you
Need to cook.
There's definitely some waste here. They could live off the contents of their freezer alone for about a month.
Let's put all this food in so it doesn't go off.
And then I was shown Henry's favourite press.
Lots of biscuits.
I get help eating
Lots of
them.
biscuits. How much do you think you're spending on biscuits and treats, realistically, in a week, in a shop?
In a week.
Could be €20
easily.
I kept looking, but other than Rose's small collection of handbags and Henry's books, there wasn't much evidence of spending on mum and dad. I guess, like a lot of families, the bulk of the spending is on the kids.
You've 3 beautiful daughters. Do they cost a pretty penny? Do you spend a lot of money on activities?
I couldn't physically put on paper what we spend on the girls' activities every year, because I just don't know between all the other little bits that are added in.
Yeah, and you don't want to be cutting all of that out of your lives either. But like in terms of your free time and your family time, does that end up costing you a lot of money?
If you go to Limerick for a Sunday afternoon and you go into the shopping centre, there's, lunch, KFC. The old style sweet shop, there has to be something got there. You have to go to Claire's Accessories and pick up a pair of earrings or hair bands. They add up, yeah.
Everything's multiplied by 3 then, you see.
Yeah.
You can't
buy it just for one, like.
Looking to the future and trying to put some money away for the kids, what are we going to need in the next 7 years when Lauren is going to college?
It's easily $2,000 a year. For 7 years, we'll give you
14,000. Yeah. That's fine, like that. Lauren needs 10 or 15 grand, but 3 years down the line after that, it's Lucy, and then 2 years is Isabel. So, that's why we need to get our act together now.
Rose and Henry are busy with work and family. They don't have time to overhaul their finances, but they don't understand why things are so tight on two incomes.
It's time for Sinead Ryan, our personal finance expert, to get stuck into the bills, receipts and statements. The first thing that she spots is that Henry's credit card bill is around €3,000 with an interest rate of nearly 19%.
The first thing I can see is that it's maxed out. So Amazon, iTunes again, gosh, a lot of iTunes. The problem with that is look at the extra fees and the interest that they're being charged on that.
But it's
Amazon.
only small amounts of €17, €14.
What it means is that they're getting interest added onto interest, and it makes it virtually impossible to ever pay off that bill.
So that needs to be nipped in the bud.
Definitely.
That's what I want.
And they're spending €15, €23, €14, small amounts that add up over time.
So it's all a bit chaotic.
It is.
Sinead also spots evidence of overspending on food. The weekly grocery bill coming in at an average of €220 a week.
The money is going all over the place.
Indiscipline.
The girls are young. You know, this couple has time to do this, but they really need to get started soon.
Okay, well, let's get cracking, come up with a plan for them and see what they think of it.
Each week on My Money and Me, our panel of industry insiders are on hand with their insider tips to save you money.
I'm Paul O'Connell, travel editor with independent.ie, and these are my insider tips for holidaying in Ireland. Last year was the busiest ever year for Irish tourism, 8.6 million visitors, and I think this year is going to be busier again, and prices are rising. So there's one tip I could give, it's book early. Now it seems obvious, but the school holiday periods and July and August are the peak time. So if at all possible, if you can travel off season, you book a hotel, I checked this morning in County Clare in late August on a weekend, and again in the beginning of September, and they were fully 1/3 cheaper. So just goes to show if you book off peak, you can make big savings. We're all used to booking hotels on search sites online at the moment, and they're very handy, but if you put in a phone call or check the hotel website, that's where you start to see, particularly with packages, they'll often have 2 nights B&B with a dinner, for instance, or bundled with a spa treatment or a kids activity, and you won't get those kind of things on the search sites. Sunday is a good night to get a deal if you're on a short stay. It's technically a midweek day, so you don't have that many leisure guests. Business guests have yet to check in. So if you arrive early, explore the area, and see if you can blag a late checkout the next day. So think Sundays if you have a short break. Think outside the box. There's more to holidays than hotels and self-catering holiday homes. Airbnb.ie, for instance, they have everything from apartments to castles and churches and even self-catering pubs I've seen. Hostels have upgraded a huge amount in the last generation. A lot of hostels now do private rooms with private bathrooms. Camping, pound for pound, is probably the cheapest family holiday you'll get in the country. You could easily get away, family of 4, for about €30 a night, and that's pretty cheap.
Sinead has studied the evidence, and we're back in County Clare to reveal all to Henry and Rose. Sending a child to college costs around $11,000 a year if they live away from home. Henry and Rose have 3 young girls and want to start saving well in advance. Sinead has a plan of action, and the first thing she wants to address is Henry's credit card bill of €3,000. He's paying it off at a rate of $100 a month, but nearly half of that goes in monthly interest fees.
Even if you cut it up and never used it again, it would take 3 years and 8 months to pay off that debt at €100 a month. How does that sound?
Doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah.
It's a long time just to pay it off without using it. What if I decided, let's say, I can manage to pay €200 a month?
Just by doubling that fee that you're giving them, it means that you'd clear that debt entirely in 1 year and 6 months.
Wow.
Year and a half, be gone. If you want to clear it down even faster than that, is to move the balance that you currently have to one of the 5 providers that offer 0% on balance transfers.
So basically for the first 6 months you make a real concerted effort to get rid of that credit card debt because you're not paying any interest in it. So all your money you're paying is going towards getting rid of that large number.
It allows you just to get the back of it broken.
Yeah.
If you do need to use a credit card, save it for big purchases, not day-to-day expenses, and have a plan to pay it off before the interest hits. It's an absolute scourge, and you should try and get it down as quickly and efficiently as possible. Cut your card up horizontally. Keep the number, but you can't use it in stores. I think it's very helpful to get a paper statement. I know a lot of these now are paperless bills and all that kind of thing. I say, please send me paper bills every single month. It'll give you an idea of the overall spend. Every time you use your credit card, think of it as a mini loan, which is what it is. Now, if you go to your bank manager every time you wanted to use your credit card and ask for that money, would you really?
You know, you're spending €99 on iTunes, €6 on iTunes.
You're going to cause a divorce here now if you don't you put that bill away.
No, but is it going to be hard for you to let go of iTunes?
No, I don't think so. When it's become so apparent, I didn't realise until I had to print off all the statements actually, because like you say, 10 euros here, 5 euros there, it's so easy to just click and say yes. You don't notice it's only a couple, but when it starts adding up.
In any family finances, you should always tackle the highest interest debt first. Get rid of that one, and then everything else, you'll free up more money.
The family are also spending €220 a week on food, nearly 90 more than the national average. After the break, Sinead sets them a more realistic shopping budget for the next month.
We've now put in 3 large packets of biscuits where we were going to get 1.
And will the My Money and Me consumer panel be able to turn down easy money?
Well, I thought it should be like 50-50, because if he doesn't play with me, then he's not going to get anything either.
Rose and Henry Butler want to have enough money saved by the time their daughters start college in 7 years.
That's fine, like that Lauren needs 10 or 15 grand, but 3 years down the line after that, it's Lucy, and then 2 years is Isabel. So, that's why we need to get our act together now.
Sending a child to college costs an estimated $11,000 a year for fees, food and lodging. Over half of Irish parents go into debt of about $5,000 a year per child, contributing to those costs. So $20,000 in savings for a 4-year degree course should mean you avoid future debt. Consider setting up a bank account specifically for your children's education. There are limited access deposit accounts offering up to 3% interest, so saving $200 a month over 8 years would leave you with just over €20,000. If you have some money to put away, you could consider Irish State Savings. They have a number of options. A lump sum of $16,000 invested in their 10-year National Solidarity Bond will give you $20,000 after the 10-year term. Another option is prize bonds. They cost $6.25 each. Your money won't grow, but you could win tax-free sums at any stage in the weekly draw. Buying €200 worth every month for 8 years will give a lump sum of $19,200 without any winnings. Sinead has examined the family's spending habits and we've presented them with a plan. Her first target, Henry's €3,000 credit card bill.
Small amounts that add up over time.
The next challenge is the food bill. Not enough planning goes into the weekly shop, so the family have to become organised shoppers. That means planning meals, and Sinead's #1 tip for saving money on the weekly shop: make a list.
We all know stuff that's routine that we buy every single week that you're not going to have to write down, bread and milk and eggs and that kind of thing. But there are lots of things that we overbuy on because we can't remember if we have enough of it at home.
Yeah.
All right? That's what's going on this list for now.
Typically, an Irish family spends €131 a week on food. The Butlers have been spending €220. Sinead is on hand to help them shop on a newer, lower budget.
It's €150. Now, that's more than the average family of your size would normally spend. So I'm not being mean here, all right?
Okay, we'll see what we can do. 3 for 10, so we have sausages.
Multi-pack deals can certainly save money, but only if they are part of a meal plan and don't end up in the bin.
I would have bread at home already, Sinead, so I wouldn't need to buy it now.
Sinead is inside with Henry and the girls doing the weekly shop. They tend to throw out a lot of food towards the end of the week, which is typical of a lot of Irish families. It's hard to believe, but the average Irish family throws out 4 trolleys worth of food in a year. It's a waste of food and a waste of money. It's something to think about when you're doing your shop.
We'll get biscuits here, okay? Yeah, they're plain. We'll get a nice biscuit.
Daddy loves
Get the bourbons, Vic.
bourbons.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Henry gets the blame for buying the treats, but it's obvious that he's not the only one with a sweet tooth.
Girls, you're not a fan of the ones that your dad picked, is that it?
I like these, but
Okay.
you said that we won't have enough.
We put these back.
We still have 2 big packets of biscuits there now. Henry definitely came here with a plan. He's been very cautious with his shop, and I wonder now, will it actually turn out to be enough for the week? It could be that he has underbought, but that means that he's really trying to think about what's at home, what does he need, what does he not need, and that's the way every shop should start. And so what if you've chopped it up a little bit during the week? If you've budgeted for it and you put that by, that's exactly what he should be doing.
That's 71.34, please.
Okay.
Henry has spent less than half of what we're allowing him for a week. There'll be more needed over the next few days, but it's a promising start.
What was the difference?
Just being a little bit more conscious of what I needed and what I didn't need.
Okay. Did the list help?
It did, yeah, definitely, yeah.
The My Money and Me consumer panel are taking part in a series of experiments to see if we're in control of our money or is our money in control of us.
I'm going to give you, the proposer, €10.
This week, Dr. Pete Lund's 80 Irish consumers are taking part in a world-famous behavioural experiment first carried out in 1982.
Being a consumer is about getting value for money. We'll do business with whoever will give us a beneficial deal. It's all about outcomes. Or is it? Perhaps there's some other things that we care about too, like how fairly we're treated. Let's play the ultimatum game. I want you to imagine that you are this person here. Okay, I'm going to be very generous. I'm going to give you €10 on condition that you offer some of it to this person. We began by doing the ultimatum game for real, giving €10 to somebody to split between them and an anonymous stranger. You can offer as much or as little of it as you like. But if he rejects the offer, the money all comes back to me, and you both leave with nothing.
€5.
Yeah, sure, I might accept it.
€5.
Yes, I'm going to offer you €5.
Yeah, 50-50.
Most of the proposers we gave the €10 to just went for a 50-50 split, and the responders accepted it. So what we did was we put one of the production team behind the barrier and gave a low offer to see what would happen then.
I'm going to offer €2.
Responder, would you accept the €2?
No. Well, I thought it should be like 50-50, because, like, you know, if he doesn't play with me, then he's not going to get anything either.
Most of our consumers split the €10 50-50. Some didn't, but one of the things that's very interesting is when they had to think about how they would respond to an uneven split, most of our consumers, if you'd offered them less than €3 of the 10, would have rejected it. They'd rather have left with nothing.
I was willing to split it 50-50 and give away a €5 and keep a €5.
If they decided to give me any less than 4, I was out.
I wouldn't have taken 3, 2 or 1. I would have found that being unfair.
By the time we're down to €3, there's a lot of you walking away now and saying, I would rather have nothing than take that measly offer. Huh? And by the time we're down to 2 and 1, we've got the people who are just going to take the money, and it's comfortably... it's comfortably less than half of you. You don't only care about what you pay and what you get. You care about how you're treated and about the process. We won't actually buy good products at a price we would be willing to pay from a company if we think the company is making too much out of us.
I would have accepted anything myself, but you do feel kind of hard done by if you're offered anything less.
What the ultimatum game tells us is that in real markets, when real money is at stake, consumers sometimes won't do business with people if they think they're going to be treated unfairly, even if it might be in their interests to do so, even if they might think they're going to get decent value in terms of outcomes. If the process isn't fair, they won't do it.
New week, new budget.
Did we beat our budget?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
We did. It did.
The Butlers are now 3 weeks into their challenge of living on a food budget of $150 a week, 70 less than their normal spend. And the reduced budget has hit them where it hurts, the treats cupboard.
It's significantly smaller than the last time we filmed it.
No, actually, there's chocolate. There is no chocolate. And there's no chocolate covered biscuits.
Because the kids are finding it hard going, there's no treats in the press, so, you know, we've nothing to bribe them with at the minute.
Henry has also taken on another bit of advice from Sinead, insisting on paper bills and, more importantly, examining them. It's what he needs to do if he wants to get on top of that €3,000 credit card bill.
We've been moving slowly but surely towards paperless billing, and while it might be good for the environment, it's not necessarily good for your finances. Recent research has shown that people who receive paper bills have an 80% chance of being able to estimate what's in their account at any one time, versus just 32% for those on paperless billing. When it comes to bills, emails are easy to ignore. Print them out or have all those bills sent to you by post.
The Butlers are voting on where to go for their family day out. They spend around €100 most Sundays, but today they're off to Cool Park. It's free in and their picnic has come from the weekly shop. An average family pass to Ireland's top paid attractions costs €50.
but there are so many free sites throughout the country. So find one in your area and start saving money.
Max out of 10?
20 out of 20.
20 out of 20.
100 out of 100.
Woo! Obviously, we can't spend anything here, which is great, and it's why we chose it. I think for us, we just need to stay away from all distraction, you know, when it comes to spending money. Something I could get used to, yeah, I'd love it. If we had a plan, I think we need to map out our weekends better.
Yeah. And Lucy knows the right way because she does scouts.
A month ago, Henry and Rose couldn't see any way they would have enough saved to send their daughters to college in 7 years. Now, after making changes and finding savings, it's time to see if the numbers add up.
Henry and Rose, great to see you. You've been doing a lot of work on your finances. We set you a challenge, which was to reduce your grocery spend. How did you get on?
I think we've done well with it. We've done a smaller shop and topped up later on in the week, and I think it's helped us.
And are you keeping a list?
Yes, we're doing our shopping list and we're doing our meal plan, which definitely has helped.
Yeah. So do you think that's had the added benefit of also reducing some of the waste?
It definitely
has.
I
don't think we have thrown very little out over the last 3 weeks or so, I'm actually quite surprised that we've still managed to come in under budget for the last couple of weeks.
For the last month, the family have successfully dropped their average weekly spend on food by €67. That adds up to almost €3,500 in a year.
So that's a potential saving of $3,500 over the course of a year, but there's more than you involved. How did the girls find the challenge?
They're getting on really well with it. I think they're getting to the stage now where they understand that we don't have so much treats in the press, and, you know, they're coming to terms with the fact that they realise that we're trying to save some money, so they're playing along with us really well. Once it's not there, and they know that now.
When we left you the last time, you had a credit card bill and you were paying an interest rate of 18.9% on it. Now, we suggested that one of the things you could do is move that to a card company that has a 0% interest rate on balance transfers. Did you get round to doing that, or have you thought about it?
I did, yeah. I'm actually in the process of it, so I'm just waiting on a decision for a new card on 0% interest, yeah.
So that 0% is going to last for 6 months. That's a short window to get that debt down. Are you determined to pay it down in that time?
Definitely, yeah. I'm going to set aside a couple of hundred a month if I can to make that debt come down quite considerably over 6 months.
The credit card interest rate will revert to over 18% after that 6-month period, so getting rid of that bill and keeping it gone will ultimately save €500 a year in interest charges, bringing the total savings to nearly €4,000 a year.
The other challenge that we looked at was trying to reduce the spend on family days out, and we wanted you to have a free family day. How did that work out?
We were both surprised that
we could manage.
That we could do it when we set our mind to it.
Well, if you did that once a month, that's a saving of €1,200 across the year.
It's just a bit of discipline, just planning, a bit more planning than we used to do before, like.
If they can introduce just one free family day a month into their schedule, they add another $1,200 a year. That brings their grand total annual savings to $5,184.
We started this, I didn't think we could save anything, to be honest, because I didn't see where there was savings to be made. But like, you've shown us now where we can make savings. Obviously, we were just flittering away money there.
Well, well done. You've done a fantastic job.
I think we're really confident now that we're going to save this money, you know.
It seems very achievable now, with all the advice we've been given and the challenges that we've been set, that we think we'll be able to keep it up over the next few weeks and months.
Henry and Rose had a clear motivation to save. There are 3 daughters. I'm delighted they got the girls involved. It's good to get kids thinking about the value of money. Together as a family, they made decisions to cut back on their grocery spend and on those days out. It'll definitely be worth it in the long run.
You better get ready, cool and deadly, do the rock steady, but now it's the time. You better get ready, cool and deadly, do the rock steady, but now it's the time. You better get ready, cool and deadly, do the rock steady, but now it's the time.